all coming here. In this United Nations Global Road Safety Week. So we are working, I think I'm far enough away, we are working with the international road partners from all over the world. So I am a road safety expert, and we're just saying that we need to take back our streets. We need to have streets for life. We need to have streets where our children are not killed. Because you need to know that the leading cause of death in young people is road crashes. And if you look at Africa, we have a disproportionate number. We have more children killed in Africa than in Europe or anywhere else in the world. So that's why we are passionate about this, about getting the deaths down, about saying, come on, it's a human right. You'll see one of those posters says, life is a human right. We have a right to be, we have a right to demand from our policymakers and our government that our streets are safe. This is not something that should be just left. Streets, cities are not made for cars, they're made for the people. Most of the people who are going to school or to work are pedestrians, aren't they? And so what we also need to know is that in South Africa, most of us have experienced grief on the road. Most of us have lost families who've been killed as pedestrians. Not so. My son, Chaz, was a sober pedestrian. He was killed by someone who was speeding. So the thing is, we cannot accept this. We have to push for real change. We've got to convince the policymakers and people in power, and we've got to have a real sense of urgency that this must happen now. Because while we are here and while we are talking, children are being killed on our streets. Children and pedestrians. Okay, so we need safe cities. We need to put the children and the vulnerable people first. Do you think of all the people who are disabled? There are so many, and many of those people who are disabled have been put into wheelchairs because of car crashes, because we have so many deaths on our road. Unacceptable and preventable deaths. All right. So what the research shows, it's very much this, that they hit at 50 kilometers, 5 out of 10 will die. If they hit at 30 kilometers, which all of us road safety people in the world are going for, only 1 in 10 will die. 90% of those people will live. And that's what we want. This is called a safe systems approach that we're all working on in the world with World Health and the United Nations. So what the safe system approach says is that people make mistakes. Children run across roads after wars, don't they?
Yes.
But we, as the policymakers, should not make them pay for that with their lives. Okay. So that is why we have to change the limits. We know that in Africa, policymakers say, but we're different to Europe, we can't do the same, we can't change our cities. And we say, why not? So SADD are working with SADD NGOs for road safety. And so what we've done with the 16 countries in the SADC area, we're saying, okay, we will say to start with, we're not demanding 30 kilometers in the urban areas. What we're demanding is 30 kilometers outside schools. Start with that. Don't you think so, children?
Yes.
Yeah. Really, I want you to hear it louder.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to have 30 kilometers. We have to insist on it. We have to demand it. We have to work with Zonnebloem Mandela, who is a global road safety ambassador, to say this is what is our right. It's a human right. So what we, and also the other thing, what the city and transport people need to know is 30 kilometers is the most economically thing that we can do to bring down. It doesn't cost a lot to change the speeds to 30 kilometers in restricted time. It really doesn't. And so if we make it 30, are people going to go 30? No. But they might then go 40. And your chance of survival being knocked at 40 is better than at 60. So we ask the city, apart from making the speeds 30, to also enforce it. Even if it's in the restricted time when children are going to school and from school, That is the most important thing. So what we want to say is that we are absolutely thrilled that the Mayoral Committee of Transport, Alderman, Felicity Purchase is here, and that they've heard our call from the educators and from the children and from the parents and from the community. And they are starting it in Zonnebloem to get the speed to 30 kilometers. How nice is that? Woo! Yay! So we thank you very, very much, Alderman. So well done. I think we're the first city in South Africa, the first place in South Africa who's done this. So we can be very proud of us to be living in the city of Cape Town. We hope this is going to be rolled out right throughout South Africa. And we know that people are working on speed humps to slow down the drivers, but we also need the 30 kilometers. So well done, and I would just like to say thank you so much to City of Cape Town, and we would love you to just say a few words in support of saving children's lives in this whole thing. Streets for life, better environment, safer families, and thank you very much.
So may I come there? Then
Yes, wonderful.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Nice to see you all. I'm sure this is much better than being in class.
Yes.
Okay. So we obviously, as the city, take road safety very seriously. We take the safety of our pedestrians very seriously, and we try as much as we can to create an environment which is safe. So we are looking at various ways all the time to make it safer. The speed bumps, of course, is one thing. Reducing the speed limit around vulnerable areas such as a school is also another, and we will continue to investigate and see how we can implement this across the city. But there obviously are always constraints, and these things are works in progress. So I want to commend you on your initiative and your event here this morning, and say that we will continue to work in partnership with anyone who wants to make the road safer. Thank you.
Pleasure.